Hello. There's been a very interesting story that's come out in Greece today, and it's about the Patriarch Bartholomew. He's the leader of the Eastern Orthodox Church, and really he is the a de facto head of the Orthodox Church, in the same way that the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. There are people who would dispute this, but Bartholomew has been there for many years, and he is a good man. He lives in the Patriarchate area of Istanbul, a very, very small area. I've been there. Now he's talking about vaccination, and he says, people should get the vaccine. They should do it. They shouldn't be afraid of it. There's no reasonable excuses. He calls everybody to get vaccinated without reservation, quote, in order to avoid serious dangers that will lead them to death. We as a church, as a religion, he says, as the ecumenical patriarchate in particular, respect science, the representatives of science, the findings and discoveries of science, and conform our lives to them. And then the interesting bit, he says, regarding pandemic deniers and anti-vaxxers, they do not think correctly and do not think logically and do injustice to themselves and their fellow human beings because they can transmit coronavirus to their fellow human beings without realizing it. There is great danger. I thought this was very perspicacious and very adroitly and clearly defined. I think he's the first world religious leader to be so clear about the vaccine. I think this is clearer even than than anything Pope Francis has said. I don't draw any conclusion from that. I myself have been vaccinated, but I also have friends who have not and are quite sort of determined not to be. I'd be really interested in knowing what you think about this subject, and but I myself am incredibly impressed by the leadership Bartholomew the First has shown, in these days when we have so many political leaders thumping their gavels and using their authority in a sort of jumped up way to inflate their own self-importance. It is important, it is good to see somebody in a measured and careful way using authority in the way that it was supposed to be used. So I'm sure later on today I'll come back and have another chat with you about the nature of authority in a more general way. As I say, I was so impressed to see this news, which probably won't be covered by the BBC, but it is sort of breaking news today in Greece. So thank you very much for watching, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do ring the bell so that you get messages more quickly. And let me know what other subjects I should be covering. Thank you.